Hello everyone, I'm Machala. As you heard, I work in MSD as a software engineer for 6 years now, and this is one of the presentation I made there. This one is publicly available right now. so, anyway, I would like to talk about how the software developers can save time, and why I want to talk about it. It's because we are using it. So, what can a developer deliver in 1 week? Like maybe you know. So you can he can do like half of the sprint of the features. He can reduce some tech debt, fix bugs, or attend some trainings, improve skills. That's what developers usually do in a week, right? He can also fix some security risks, which is not so famous, right? But the projects have, the JavaScript projects especially have numerous of dependencies and vulnerabilities everywhere, and eventually it can cause incidents in productions, which then it's not so funny to fix, and usually in bigger companies it takes time to fix it. So what we do with that is that we try to prevent it manually, usually, that we go and update each dependency. Every developer, I hope every developer is trying to do it, trying to keep the dependencies up to date and mitigate the vulnerabilities, but it's also a time consuming. So you can see on the diagram why it's like consuming, because you just want to update one package, and in the end you have like whole tree of dependencies, which might be a nightmare to continue it. So for that, there is like an automation tool for updating your dependencies. Do you know some of the tools, or who don't? So, okay, cool, that's great. So basically, there are in the internet like automated bots or services which can take a look on your dependencies and provide for you the possible upgrade to new version. It's like when you receive the Windows update and it forces you to update it and restart whole your machine. So it's almost like that, just for the software. You don't need to restart it usually. And that's what this automation tool does. Basically, this is like a GitHub. It's like pull request, and he promote for you upgrade from 21 to 22, and he prepares for you everything. You can see also the release notes, the change logs. It adds the reviewers. It also turn on your build, so you can see if your tests pass, if you have some, or if your deployment pass, if you have some, and basically you can easily assess if it's like problematic or not, and that this thing saves time. And how much it saves, I can tell you, like these are some, it's like estimation, it's little made up, honestly, because we don't have exact numbers, but you can see that if you do it manually, you need to find what is the latest version in your editor. So 2 minutes, then you do the update, so it's like 2 minutes, you need to find what is the concrete version, you might screw it up a little bit, then you prepare the pull request, another 2 minutes, then you provide some description, and then you finally have the pull request, and then you wait 40 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that to get a feedback from your build machines if everything is alright or not. You also go, one is green because no one cares if it's not green. So when the build is green, everything passed. So you change you take a look on the change log and assess if that change could be a problem, maybe in production or somewhere else. And you assess the impact, and you have 14 minutes of manual work plus that waiting. And that's just one package, and I don't know JavaScript projects which have one package. So basically you do it for all of them, it's like 20. Some of them are related to each other, so you cannot upgrade just one. If you go with React, you go and whole tree of React siblings you upgrade, so it might be a week. So, and the week is hard to convince the stakeholders or the money holders to do, right? So you rather do and call it legacy and introduce new frameworks. So I don't like this kind of stuff. So that's why I introduced in the company the Renovate bot. It's an open source tool, and it basically for me automatically find all these steps. It builds, and when it's green, that's when I find out that there is a pull request and it's green. Then I go, I have the changelog already there because he pulled it out from the source, and I only assess the impact, approve merge, and that's all. What is great on it, you can pick how granular your updates are, so you can get only the minor updates, like the smallest number, or you can get only the major updates. So you get like from React 16 to 17, and then nothing happened for 2 years, and then you get 19, right? So, or nothing. So basically it saves time, and you basically save around 85%, and based on calculations from me, we had over a year, we had 1,171 pull requests done by this tool. It basically saves around 40 working days for 8 developers, so we saved 1 week for each developer. So now, what you can do in that 1 week? That's the question from the beginning, right? Any questions so far?
What if you don't have full code coverage?
It's just risk. You can
Oh,
risk
okay, got it.
It's so. What is the workflow in? So we don't have 100% code coverage. This tool can discover your problems. Either the build is green and then you merge it and then you find a problem, so you know what tests you are missing probably, but you know it like right after. You don't wait for big update of whole code to new versions, but you get it regularly by small version updates. So it's usually just few versions which change, few pull requests you merged since yesterday with the updates. So the surface of the impact of the problems is really like super small for it. If you do the updates in like small things.
Can Renovate do just the save changes without the major?
Yes, it's like it's from developers, so it's super configurable. So you can do the minor changes always. You can do minor changes without pull requests, even just like push it to master and like leave it, and have pull requests for the minor versions. Or he can try to push it to the master, and if the master build fails, he create pull request for you. This didn't work, and then you can assess it. So, or you can update all your packages at once, not just by single one, but all of them at once. So it's really like super configurable, and it can do also like that. It will try to upgrade whole React stuff by one version, for example. Like it supports the like big grouped projects which deliver like a lot of versions at once. Like for us, it's like CK editor. It has like 50 packages, so when they upgrade the new version, you get 50 pull requests. No, here you get just one with 50 changes, which is great. I don't remember what is my next slide, so I will just check. Yeah, that's the one.
Can it renovate the API calls to new major?
What do you mean?
If it can change the API calls to use new major version of new stuff?
No, it doesn't change the code.
No. It affects only the like
Packages.
your packages, your dependencies, your configurations with the
Webpack.
with your dependencies and stuff. So okay, so what it can do actually, so it supports a lot of languages and repositories and platforms. So GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and so there are 4 others. It's like JavaScript, Docker, Java, Node.js, Nuggets, Swifts, like it's all a lot of languages which is supported, and it also supports like if you are a big company, you might have like later on. I will say it later on. A lot of languages. We can take a look into documentation. What are those? No, I didn't want to open it in this steps, but here it's supported platforms. So it's like yes. So these a lot. So it supports the enterprise solutions. And who is using it, and the menu is hidden. So it was somewhere there. For example, so here is like the language support. Yes, so it's like Java, PHP, Ruby, Rust, and such. But it's not just this, it supports also like other modules. So basically AWS, RDS, CDN, JS, Conda, that maybe you even don't know what the stuff is, me too. Go, Maven, Java included, packages, Ruby, Terraform. So it supports a lot of variants and it's quite useful. Any questions so far?
So,
Yes?
so it scans PragueJS
Yes.
and it's reading like the dependency tree and everything else, and it then shows you like the list of versions you are able to upgrade to, and it also like shows you what to change in your code or
So it does not
recommendations.
it does not change the code. We are
Yeah,
not
I
there
know,
yet,
but
unfortunately. But it will tell you which version, and then your tests or builds fail, and it will tell you, this version kills this test. So you can like go and either fix your test, fix your code, or report it as an back to the original source.
yeah, so it's up to programmer to decide what to change in
Yes.
that code.
Yes. Big repositories or big updates, they also have they provide like the migration guides or such things, so you can go and see like what you need to change to what. So it can help you with these minor updates as well, because you get a change log, you don't need to find it on the internet.
And this tool extracts these
Yes,
information.
yes. He extracted it from the GitHub, from NPM, or from other places. If it follows some standard style of writing change logs, it extracts it automatically. Yes. So the next thing is we are using it, and it's an open source tool, and we can basically self-host it within our company. When I started, we used to have a Bitbucket, so I made a small POC in a Bitbucket. It does not need so much things. You need only like special account which can commit stuff and have an email, and because it creates the pull request, so it can commit to Git and then create the pull request for you, or a match request, and then you can provide. I'm not sure if you can read it. We have new projector, but it's still terrible, right? I will just use Zoom. Yes.
Be
Sorry.
careful with
It's still terrible, and it's not the fault of
No, I mean
projector.
just you will put list of your repositories here. No, I have bad slides. you provide list of repositories and you can go and scan them. Our robot, our bot, we have it as a Jenkins job, as like simple way of setting up. So it basically run the Renovate bot, scan all the repositories, check what are the latest versions, assess what versions can be created for update, and create pull requests. And in 30 minutes, once more. And if the pull requests are already resolved, he will create new ones. If they are not, he just like keep it there. So you can also little tune it for the usage. So for example, it basically uses like the Docker image, like the Renovate bot provides either like as source code, so you can like install just the core of it, or you can use their prepared Docker images. They have like slim image, which is like just few hundreds of megabytes, or the big one which have all the languages which I listed as like supported. So the big one has few gigabytes, but if you really support the company and various repositories, then it's like good to support everyone here. And once you register here, like the onboarding to this tool, in our case, it's I tell the developer, put here your name of the repository, then we merge it, and in 30 minutes he get onboarding pull request, which is saying, hey, I'm onboarding Renovate bot. This is what I found in your repository, and this changes you might get as a list of the upgrades. And then you merge it, it's configured, it creates for you Renovate JSON file automatically, and then the pull requests are coming. If you have some limited number of builds on your repositories, or you have some limited Jenkins or something, it might little increase the usage of the build, because you will have much more pull requests than usual.
And the pull requests are per dependency upgrade?
That's how you configure it. Yes, it can be per dependency. You can group like all the production dependencies, for example, or it's up to you.
Per batch.
You
can define like
you can set up the groups as you want.
Okay.
How you want to basically like group it. I prefer to have like the smallest way, because then I can see from the build that this is really the cause. If I get like all updates at once, I'm almost in same situation when I was trying to do it manually, because I would upgrade everything and then search 1 week for the root cause, which package is broken. So this is the hosting, and then how do maintenance, because we are also like maintaining the Renovate bot itself for the address, so that's like little deep topic, sorry. I just want to tell you. So basically we make like the Renovate bot is maintaining self, like self. Basically in the list of the repositories he have also self. So when he found that there is a new version of Renovate bot, he will update it. Then the build will publish new Docker image in our system, and next time the Renovate bot runs, he has the latest version. So basically I set it up once, and now it automatically updates self each 30 minutes or something like that. So it's like 4 times a day refresh. They release quite often. So it's nice. We also migrated from the Bitbucket to the GitHub, because the company decided to have it, and we also customize a little bit how it looks. So in the footer you can find like Google Forms, you can provide feedback, or if you have some problems. So like when the developer sees it, he can act like ask someone like who is maintaining this stuff, this tool. And in the long run, basically, we started with like 10 repositories, then we reached like 60 or something like that. Then we moved to GitHub, and once everyone migrated, now we are on 120 repositories, which we are checking every hour or something. So the list, it's small compared to how many repositories our company have, but it's big for the others. So and also for Renovate bot, so basically we have to tweak the caching a little bit in the robot, and also we made a lot of like marketing within the company, so people start like using it, and also some other projects came and want to make some custom matchers. Basically what that means, our company is specific, so we provide some Terraform. Do you know what is Terraform? A little bit? Okay, so our company provides some well-defined Terraform templates which we can use, and we are storing them internally in our like Artifactory special one, and it's not supported by Renovate bot. So there is the feature called like custom matchers, which basically enabled these Terraform scripts to be updated even with our private Artifactory. You provide some nice regexes, blah blah blah, some transformations, and now we automatically upgrade everyone when there is a new version of Terraform library. Everyone get the update in like 30 minutes, so everyone are aligned on the latest versions or on tagging or cost estimations or such like big enterprise programs. And you can see that this is like the rest of the Jenkins job. So sometimes it has some moods. For example, these were like failing because, or were even like crashed. That's like last few days because our company network is like taking holidays. I don't know. So basically, the job is timing out on 2 hours. So we need to like somehow improve it. And I'm on the end of the presentation. You can provide a feedback. If you scan it by mobile, you will provide directly feedback about me. Presenting here, you can find me on other places. There is a Mastodon. So and blog, right? So you can check the old stuff. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay.
I feel almost like an expert on some open source, which I don't know much, but.
First of all, thank you very much. Before we start these questions, I can tell you actually what you can do in 1 week as programmer. You can actually rename all your repos from like master to main, just to use like more
Black Cliff.
Yeah.
better language, let's say. But the question is whether it does make sense if your company is MasterCard. I don't know. But,
Can you compare? Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Can you compare with Dependable or other stuff like that?
Much
I
better.
can say that I did not expect this question, but yes, I can compare it. For our use case, basically the Dependable, it's living on the internet, and this is living in internal network. So basically we can see we can see all the artifacts within the company. It's not leaking outside, nothing. So it's
on premise. Okay.
It's on premise in internal, and it also, as far as I remember, what Dependable is doing, it's not so powerful, and I think now it's developed by Microsoft, so it's like cost benefits, features, roadmaps. So it's not just developers write Renovate, but it has I think 14,000 stars on
Thank you.
GitHub.
I can support it because we use both of them, and the Dependable is much more limited in the functionality than Renovate. For example, you can have specifics after install scripts for some of your packages which perform some post-install steps, and Dependable is not able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some team invented that they want to create Jira task, then it creates pull requests. So they added some script for it, and it does the Jira tasks. I hope they don't need Jira tasks for upgrading what they need. So. Okay, any other? Tomasz?
So you converted 120 repos. So a couple of teams, they like it, but what are saying people who do not like it? Give us some of the bad stuff, some of the resistance.
So I no, like if you have, there are some developers which don't like it because it makes for them like noise, and they need to like do the upgrades. They cannot just opt out from them, or it would be obvious. So they don't like it, I would say. Also, in another project, they have some process, like some deeper process of assessment of the impact of each upgrade, which makes for them a lot of work to do. So they rather do it in like big batches, once I don't know how often, but maybe 1 year. So they rather do the hotfix updates with the vulnerabilities rather. It can also check now, like it's like half year I think. In GitHub you can see the vulnerabilities what are on the repository from the well-known open source libraries, like list of the all vulnerabilities, and basically it can create pull requests for you just with a security upgrade. So you can just get the good one stuff which you have to, and the minor upgrades you don't need to do. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank
Or
you.
do you want more stories?
You have
No, that's usually we have like team which basically have set up the Renovate bot in like they have like 50 repositories. No, okay, 50, and they have set up that once in a month they will get upgrade of everything at all at once. So they get updates to 12 times a year, and they are fine with that. They probably don't need to have the latest versions. What I like on the latest versions that I can sometimes contribute to the open source because it found some bug in the open source, so I can go and create a first issue and first bug fix with the first pull request, and
And alpha testing.
yeah, like alpha testing. Or I can, if you click, you can like close the pull request, and he will not bother you with the version anymore, and it will wait for the next version for some fix. So if you like see a red build, you can just close it and you will get it later on.
Maybe one question for me. You probably know some vulnerability tools like Sneak or maybe Black
Yeah,
Duck. Does it somehow work with them nicely that it upgrades exactly what?
So my opinion on the tools is that usually they are too late with the problems. So the Renovate bot fix it, even the tools find it.
Of course, but
at least. So,
I'm
but
just
yes, of
wondering
course,
whether
you can.
it's possible to prioritize it to the level that they will start with those which have the biggest problems or something like that. Or does it make
You
any
can
sense?
prioritize the security that it goes first. If you have in your build pipeline also like scanning of the dependencies, like some Black Duck or some other tools, it can try to find it. What is problematic or like good, that you get a pull request with a version which was released like maybe like 2 or 3 hours ago. So these Black scans, the scanners didn't hear about that version.
Yeah.
They know maybe like also that 2 hours, and they don't assess the vulnerability so fast. So basically we are like ahead of like any vulnerabilities.
That's good.
Yes.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, so maybe follow up with that question with security scanning. So what things like, for example, NPM audit does is that they will scan like transitive dependencies, because A lot of these
Yeah.
vulnerabilities actually aren't in like direct dependencies, but dependencies or dependencies. So can Renovate also like look into that and like send you like just like update to package log?
It updates the package log, but no.
So it doesn't scan like present
No.
dependencies.
You can
So
say
that's
you
probably
can
like
have it
the-
part of your build, like that it will do the
Yeah.
npm audit right away.
Yeah.
You can
We'll
do
have
it.
to do some resolution list or whatever, and then
Yeah.
make.
I think like if I remember correctly, at Renovate they have like this enterprise version, which is like very costly.
Yeah.
And it includes this
There
like
is-
security.
Yeah, there is also this thing called Man. That's like
Yeah,
a
but-
company which is developing the Renovate bot, the Man. So basically, you can, if you are using public GitHub, you can like register it as an application, and it will start doing for you the updates.
Okay.
You can set up the same way also this hosted Renovate bot. That will be just the application, so anyone can just like connect it to his repository. We are still new in the GitHub in our company, so I did the job, like the Jenkins job for it, because it was like easier. It can also have like the auto discover mode, so basically you can just scan all the repositories within your company and create the onboarding pull request to everyone. I did not try it yet. We used to have like 40,000 repositories in Bitbucket, so I don't want to kill the tool just because auto discovery. So I rather support the voluntarily joining people for these updates. Yes.
Are you measuring on some of your repositories any cycle time or something like that? Because if you are basically generating a lot of pull requests, these numbers are usually like getting a little bit, too optimistic.
So we, not within our company, we need to document the releasing, and that's costly, so we don't just deploy to prod, but we deploy it to dev like all the time.
I meant, on top of pull requests, there are tools that can measure cycle time basically from your first commit through code review all the way to deployment, so you know where is your bottleneck.
Okay.
So
I don't-
sometimes because you generate a lot of pull requests, you get too optimistic numbers from that.
Okay. No one set
Okay.
up KPIs on us like that yet, so.
That is answer because Renovate allows you to name the pull request
Right.
by your standard or flag the pull request with some tag.
So you can filter.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Like you can see, like for example, here we put the prefix that it's like that there is no Jira in it. It's like tag, so like ignore it in the and you can specify it.
But sorry for pointing out, there's 0 checks, right?
And that's because we are using Jenkins, and it's not connected. We didn't have the plugin which would integrate the checks with that, but
You have don't have GitHub actions. Okay.
yes, we don't have GitHub actions enabled in the company.
Got it.
Yet, right? We are talking about it for a long time, and maybe this year finally, but you need to connect the
ChatGPT is good.
They just need
in
to work
writing
within the internal
GitHub
within internal network, so that's are some limitations on the GitHub actions, and also people need to understand them.
Great.
Any other question, concerns, feedback?
If not,